Hey guys, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be doing a flip through of my 2022 weeks so far. And I did a setup video, I don't know, maybe sometime in November, but I actually have gone through and changed several things. So if you saw that video, I don't think that this is going to be entirely repetitive. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. My weeks is currently housed in a Chic Sparrow Giovanni Cascade folio, and it's sized for the Hobonichi weeks. You can use this as a wallet planner combination. Currently, I have my cards in a separate little pouch. I have a pencil board tucked in here just in case I need to use it, and then I use some, I don't know, like cardstock or something. They're little notes, but I took my label maker and I just made like headers for them, and this has my emergency information and a planner key that I don't normally reference. This is a Betty White, well, it's a rose magnet from a Golden Girls set that I purchased back in November. I have my friend Lori and I who are huge Golden Girls fans, and I purchased a set for her and a set for myself from Target in the book section back in November, and I hadn't taken mine out because I knew if she saw mine she'd ask where I got it from and try to go buy her own, and since I already bought her one as a gift, I just kind of held on to it. And then Betty White died just the other day, and so I tucked just her into my planner instead of the whole gang. This is a sticker from Brush and Barley. You can find her on Etsy, and I like how it looks like it's just washi taped at the top, and so you can see the pretty sky, and then if I pull the whole sticker out I can see the Bible verse that's beneath, so I really like that. I used the hide and seek cover all of last year for the most part, and since my Hobonichi is usually in another cover, I feel like it didn't have a lot of wear to it, and so I decided to just go ahead and reuse it for this year. The sticker setup is something that I do every year, and one of my favorite parts of getting my Hobonichi ready for the new year. These stickers I talked about in my setup video that I did back in, I think, November. It could have been October, I'm not sure. I did use some undo. I used to think that I was an Enneagram 8. I still never test as an Enneagram 6 test that you take, but I was typed by like an Enneagram expert as a 6, and I guess 6s are extremely hard to type. I also think that it's kind of a strange combination to be an ESTJ and a 6. ESTJs are usually 8s or 3s. So it's been a bit of a struggle for me to find myself in these personality systems, but so I had an 8, and then I actually ordered the 6 and I stuck it on top, and then I was like, that's just entirely too thick, but I didn't have any undo at the time, so I first got them separated from each other, and then I got the 8 off. And the beauty of undo, as hideous as it smells, is that once you finish taking up one of the stickers, it doesn't keep them from being sticky, so you can just stick them right back down. So that one is from Etsy, and then the rest of these are from Redbubble, except for this one, and this one I think is also from Brush and Barley. And this one and this one come from somewhere else, but I don't remember where. This is the little like sticker pocket that you get with your weeks every year. I always put it right here, and I always put a photo of me and my husband there. It's just, I like the way I like things, and so if it's not broken, why would you fix it, right? On this page I just have some of these Paperminty Studio Post-it notes, so that I can do like little brain dumps or whatever and not scratch up the pages of my planner. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just my habit of making things or wanting to make things as perfect as possible, which is a problem. Another reason why I thought I was an Enneagram 1 at one point, because I'm so particular about things. Anyway, I don't like my pages to look really messy. I am trying to embrace some more of that for this year though, because I've seen some beautiful lived in scratched up planners, and I wish that I could be that planner girl. So maybe I'll work on that this year. This is a piece of vellum that I have used Scotch tape and taped down. This is the same one that I used last year, which I had washi taped down, and I wish I had thought about that before this became too permanent. I'm not sure if undo could bring up tape or not. I'm not sure if it's made of the same sticky stuff, but I'm not doing it right now either way. But Martha's shop is no longer open on Etsy, but this was sized specifically for the Hobonichi weeks. And this is where I had it last year, and I liked it. I did have a moon phase sticker here, but I didn't like the way the colors were working, so I took it up. So I do have a different moon phase sticker on the way to put here. Somebody had mentioned to me in comments that that was like a witchcraft kind of thing, but I don't see it that way. I'm a Christian, and God made the moon, and the moon does have its phases, and so I don't see it as something like that. So I'm replacing it with a different one. I don't know. I usually put a family photo here, but I haven't printed it off yet. Not exactly sure how I missed that one in my setup, but I'll put a family photo here. And then I don't really utilize this a whole bunch. This section is for my cycle, symptoms and things that go with having PMDD, and I've used this space for that purpose pretty much every year, and it works really well for me, and I'm sticking with it. I did not use this particular planner in December. I try to wait until the official beginning of the year to use my planners, so I waited. I had a different sticker for my months that I had set up this whole section with earlier at the end of last year. And I took them all up with undo, and I changed my mind, and I didn't want it to look the same as it has for the last several years. I put some washi tape down. This is from Paper Minty Studio, and then some like grid washi that I have linked in Amazon. And then these stickers are from Mandy Lynn Plans. And I only did 3 months in advance like that. And then going forward, I'm going to wait and decide how I feel, because it might be that a new washi is released that I absolutely love, and I would have loved to have it in my calendar pages for the year, but I'd already filled them all up. So this is going to be like a wait and see what I'm inspired to decorate my months with going forward. Not that this is like overly decorated, but it's something rather than nothing. So I'm gonna wait. I have all of the stickers ready to put in the monthly section. I don't use this month part as much as I do the weeks and then the notes pages, but it's still very helpful to have, especially when making appointments and such. So that's just how this looks all the way through. I only label the calendar year that we're currently in. So even though I might need to use January, February, and March for like appointments purposes or anything like that, I'll never go through and put like a monthly sticker there, because that's how it helps remind me of what is the current calendar year. I do have several blank weeks. I thought about putting washi tape on some of these pages, like the washi tapes that I use throughout the year, because I have a habit of using like the same ones. I'm not sure yet. Right now I don't have anything here. And then I went ahead, I was feeling very unsure about what pen I wanted to use, which is still kind of undecided. I have one more pen that somebody recommended to me that I have on the way, and we'll see. Because sometimes I just get bored of using the same pen all of the time, even if this one works. And this one actually, I think, yeah, this is this pen here. I went through and used it for a week that had already happened. But I wanted to remember like Christmas time in my planner. So I went ahead and back planned this one, so it's the same as it is in my 2021 weeks, because I was like getting terrified of using the wrong pen or something. I know that sounds really lame, but I was like, well, if I go through and I write things that already happened, maybe that'll make me feel better. I don't know, it's like new planner anxiety, which is silly because it's the same exact planner, but it's a new one. Does that make any sense to anybody else, or is that just a crazy Sam thing? Anyway, I tried using, I think this is Sarasa Dry 0.5, but it did kind of come through these pages just a little bit, and it's a little bit more bold than I would like, so not going to be using that one again. And then 0.4 I think is a little too, I don't know, it has to do with the way the nib feels, like the stability on the paper for me, and it wasn't right either. So both of those are out. As you can see, we had a fabulous Christmas this year. We were all healthy-ish and together, so I guess I'm still thankful for all of that, but being sick was not fun at all. And then we have our current week. This is blotting paper that is from Nanami, and I just cut it to fit inside the weeks without like spilling out of the page and getting messed up. So this is where I am for this week, and I don't have a lot of pre-planning going on here at all. The next section is the little index section, which I'm using to notate what Tombow of the month I'm going to use, and then where the page number is, that's where I put the number of the Tombow. These pages that are coming have changed. If you watched my first setup video, I had tried to make some trackers that I hated, so I replaced them with printables from an Etsy shop. These are from Alibi Design Studios. I'm pretty sure that that's the name. I will link her shop in the description box. I decided that I wanted to do one tracker for one important thing for the entire year. So I'm using it for Bible reading. This is for one thing to track. So I'll just do an X if I didn't do it, a check mark if I did do it. I used, let's see, it's like the Tombow adhesive. Oh, what's it called? Removable adhesive. It's Tombow brand. I love this stuff. I always buy the removable because I'm always messing something up, and I hate the idea of not being able to undo it. And I have that all secured down. And then I also just took some washi tape from Paper Minty Studio and put it along the bottom, not to keep it on there, but just to give some visual interest to it. This is my recurring tasks, and these are items that I do maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter, but just to make sure that I'm keeping up with them, and it's just a reminder. I do have one of the Midori index tabs. What are these? Midori index clips, which I purchased from Jet Pens. This is I think it's called orange, but it's I don't know, bronze. I don't know. But I have that tabbed here so that I remember to come back here and check these things off on a regular basis. So what's next? No, I skipped a page. Okay, so this is to track the books that I'm reading, and if I like them, when I started it, how many pages there were, and any notes that I have regarding that particular book. I have a movie log rating system as well, just very simple, what the movie was and if I liked it or not, basically. And these are also from Alibi Designs. Then I have something that I've used in years past, and it works really well for me and my family, and so I make it this way every year. So this is, I'm going to go back to my weeks for 2021 and write in the things that we did for Christmas, just as a little mental reminder if I'm oh, what did we eat, or what treat did we do, because sometimes we alternate sugar cookies and gingerbread man, things like that. So there's a place for everybody to list what their presents were, and I will fill this in as I buy them on the current year as well. And then this is where our menu goes, what activities we had, and this is where we will take notes. So I know I'm going to put in here that for the coming year that we need to buy some more tissue paper, and that we'll need to make sure that we have AA batteries for our twinkling lights. I also need to notate that even though I loved our slim Christmas tree, that we really need to incorporate back in a larger Christmas tree into our living room because our kids were not fans of the smaller Christmas tree, and I gave our larger Christmas tree to our daughter who doesn't live in our house anymore. So I need to remember that I'm going to have to buy a Christmas tree. So those kind of things I'm going to write here because they're fresh in my mind now. But back, you know, at the end of the year, when it's like end of October, beginning of November, when I'm thinking of these things, I'm going to be like, oh, what was I supposed to remember for Christmas this year? So that's just a helpful thing for me. I have that duplicated again for 2022 so that I can put my list there. And then I have similarly duplicated birthday list. This one's a little bit bigger though because we don't have as many things to track. I also don't put myself in here, so I have to add myself for birthday ideas because it's helpful for my husband, and this is just space that we'll write, you know, things that we might pick up for our family during the year leading up to their birthdays, or if they mention something that they want for their birthday, I can jot it down here and remember when I go shopping. This is very open. This I just hand lettered Watchlist, and this is where I will notate what TV shows we enjoyed. We don't watch a lot of like network, new, popular TV. Most of it's not our thing. We did recently, while we have been sick, binge watch all of Only Murders in the Building, and I can't remember a time when I've enjoyed like a new, currently out show as much as my husband and I enjoyed that show. So if you like murder, true crime podcasts and comedy, the cast is kind of a crazy mix of people who you wouldn't think should be on a show together, but their chemistry just really worked. And then for things that I try to avoid on shows, there were some things that, I mean, like, we're not into watching language or all of that, and it seemed very misplaced to me, but it still was a good show overall. We're definitely excited to know that they are going to have season 2. This section is for keeping track of my YouTube stuff, and then a small little place of some YouTube ideas, because I realized last year I didn't utilize this as much as I thought I would. I usually will just get like a piece of paper or a sticky note or a little non-sticky note, and I'll write ideas there. And so I didn't leave myself a lot of space because I didn't use it last year. And then I go into the thing that I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner, but somewhere late last year I realized, oh my goodness, I have all of these note pages in the back of the Mega Weeks that I never use. And I don't journal if I don't have whatever it is I'm journaling in with me, but I also don't like to carry multiple books. And then I was like, I have like space for a journal because I don't journal as often as a lot of people do, right here in the back of my planner. And I broke my rule because I would generally wait until the beginning of the year to start journaling in this, but we took that trip to San Francisco at the very end of the year, and I wanted those memories to be with me through my planner in all of 2021 since it was so close to the end of the year. I went back through and I journaled about that trip at the end of the year when I started getting enough energy to actually sit up and do something. So it was like the last day or the first day, the last day of 2021 or the first day of 2022 that I sat down and started journaling about our trip. And so I just put in a couple of mementos and some photos and just journaled about our time out on the West Coast, which was fabulous. Loved it. And then we got sick and we've been home and not doing really anything. But this is what this section is for. I have some stickers coming, so I've just taken some pencil and I've like sectioned this off so I know where to put those stickers. And then I have broken up the months from there to about 15 pages for each month that I have allotted myself for journaling. Like I said, I'm not like a daily long journaler. I actually did this year for Christmas ask for and received the Hobonichi 5-year, and I really like that because there's such little space to write. So I can I can set aside the, 2-3 minutes to write in that daily. I actually thought I was ordering a cover from Hobonichi for that, but ended up ordering the regular A6 and not the 5-year A6 size. So right now it's living in the box. So I'm not making myself journal every day. That gives me a lot of stress and anxiety, but I know I have 15 pages here that I can journal in if I want to. If I don't journal that much, it's fine. If I journal a little more, I'm not going to freak out about it because I generally will not keep up that steam as the year goes on. So all of this, I just have a couple extra pages. If I make it through 15 pages every month, I'll have 2 extra pages at the end. And then this is where I had some pen testing. These were Tombow colors that I was looking at for the year. And then I don't have anything in these back pages aside from the My 100, where I will track like big events, either for the world, for the United States, for our family, will go here. And I have another one of those clips here to remind me to come and spend more time there, because I'm not as good as coming back to this page as some of my other sections. And then in the back, I've just taken one of those Target clear pockets that you can get at the back to school time in like the, I don't know, it's not called the dollar spot anymore, but I just have my printed ticket from the Metallica shows at the end of December here, and then one of the stickers that I purchased during our trip. And then I also have my weather stencil, which unfortunately it looks like that shop is closed. And then one of the Hobonichi brand stencils that I use for my checklists and to write in the numbers for my weather. That's the ones that I use the most frequently there. In case you are wondering, I think I already mentioned this is from Nanami, and I just cut it so that it fits in here nicely without like coming out of the page. I have my index clips here from Midori sectioned off at the month, the week, and whatever day I'm on for my journal. This pen I have listed in my Amazon links. You can also find them at Target sometimes. It's a felt tip pen. It doesn't have as dark of a color as some other felt tip pens, and I do like a little bit more of a muted look to my writing. The photo printer that I use is a Canon IV, and yeah, I already mentioned the Tombow. I think that's all that I needed to mention for the usual questions that I get about what I'm using. Oh, fountain pen that I use in the back, those have been so far the Pilot Vanishing Point and the Pilot Metropolitan, both in fine nib, even though they're a little different. I feel like the Vanishing Point is a little finer than the Metropolitan, and both of those were inked with Noodler's Lexington Gray. I hope that you enjoyed this flip through of how I'm using the Hobonichi Weeks. I feel like I used it consistently enough last year that I have really found my groove about what works for me, mostly for functional planning, and then of course for journaling in the back. I do like how I'm using it, and so I just basically do almost the same thing every single week because it works for me. If you have any questions about anything that I didn't address in the video already, please feel free to leave those questions in the comments below and I will get back to you. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new around here and don't want to miss out on future videos, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much as always for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye guys.